Hi guys, Carl from Rally Action here, and today we're addressing a question that we get asked very often regarding race harnesses, race belts. This particular race harness is in one of our team rally cars, and we're going to have a quick look at the requirements for 2015 in regards to cams for Australian rallying. So this particular harness is a Sabelt brand. We use a few different brands of harnesses in the cars. For state level competition and above, all of the harnesses required must be a minimum of a 5-point, or in this particular case, a 6-point harness. In other words, there are 5 or 6 points on these harnesses. There are 2 for the shoulders, there are 2 side straps or lower belts, and then in this particular harness there is actually two crutch straps here called the 6th points. You can also use a 5-point as well, and these are attached either to a floor or a mounting in a bar underneath the car. Now, as you will notice, all of these harnesses have a tag on them. These particular ones says here not valid after 2016, and they have an FIA code on them, in other words the International Motorsport Federation code on them, and they also have a manufacture date. Now the new harnesses that are currently coming out will actually have a hologram on there because they were having some incidents with certain brands of harnesses that were actually being counterfeited or copied around the world. Now, the date on here means if you're going to do national or international events, then the expiry date on there, so 2016 in this case, is the date that these harnesses can be used to. However, if you're doing state level events or below, CAMS have allowed an extra 5 years after the expiry date on the harness. That is for FIA tagged harnesses only. Okay, so it means that after 2016, another 5 years in this particular case is 2021, these harnesses can still be used in rally competition in Australia, and that's tarmac and gravel. It does mean though, however, once the 5-year expiry date is out, the harnesses, even though they may be still in perfectly good condition, are no longer suitable for any form of motorsport and can't even be used in such events as Carna Crosses and Motorcarnas. Okay, obviously I am now sitting in the car with the harness already on. Normally in competition we'd be wearing the harnesses a lot tighter and wearing all our full safety gear. I'm just sitting in here really to demonstrate how the harness should sit and how you should sit in the seat. Now with harnesses, mounting is relatively straightforward on most cars. Normally what happens is the side belts that we have down here are mounted down to the points for the factory seat belts on the car. Usually the rear points on these, or the shoulder straps, are tied off either to a special harness bar that's in the roll cage or a mounting on the roll cage, or in certain circumstances they can be also mounted to the floor, to the rear seat belt mounts in the car, to the bolt holes in the floor, and that depends on several conditions. It's usually the crutch strap or the centre strap where the biggest problem lies. Most vehicles don't have a mounting point underneath the seats that's required, and the rules dictate that we have to have a secure mounting that also has a vertical position on it so that the harness strap is not pulled back underneath the seat. Normally we can fix a plate underneath the floor pan of the car and bolt the eyelet for the harness, or eyelets for the harness, through that, or else, as in the case with this particular car, there's actually another harness bar mounted underneath the seat, and the crutch strap, the middle points on the belts, are actually tied off to those bars. Okay, one last thing with harnesses. I talked earlier about the tags and the expiry date. Every piece of the harness or belts must have a tag, and every piece of it must be in date. So if you, and occasionally we do find this, get a car or a harness that has tags with different dates on them, just make sure that every part's in date or you might not be allowed to compete.